let's talk about, being on set when you guys have to fly. What do we do with flight plans? And why is there a difference? Sometimes you have to file a flight plan, sometimes you don't. Why does that happen?
I'll hop in on there and start.
Okay. Yeah, you have the most experience with it, definitely.
Well, I don't know. These guys, we all have a bunch. So there's really two pieces of the puzzle. Once you have your 333 exemption, we'll make it easy. There's a COA, COA, and there's a POA, Plan of Activities. Those two documents are required. You guys need it for the film offices, are going to ask for it, and you need it for your permits. Okay? So those are the things you get from the drone company. Everything else is left to the drone company talking to the FAA. The COA, and everybody in this room has a
Certificate of Authorization.
Thank you.
It's acronyms. Remember, I was going to help you guys out.
We're now issued a blanket COA. Now, there's a lot of misconceptions with this blanket COA. It used to take 15 business days, which is really hard to do, to pull a COA to work in certain airspace. The FAA has helped us out. They're doing the best they can, believe it or not. And we now have a blanket COA that lets us work anywhere in the United States with some exceptions. If we're going to work within 5 nautical miles of an airport, we have to file a special COA, and that could take, again, 15 business days. That is why it is really imperative when you start planning a project, and I think Tom Hallman hit on this, to get in touch with the company you're going to be using and get them involved early. We need to know where you're going to work so we can help you. If you wait to the last minute and just expect that we're going to be able to work there, we're going to run into time problems. The blanket COA also restricts us all to 200 AGL instead of 400 AGL. Now, we can work up to 400 AGL. AGL is above ground. Thank you. Just catch me when I use those acronyms. So the blanket COA gives us 200 in the United States. But like I said, just work with us early so we know where we're working. We might need that extra lead time to file a special one. So that's document number one. The second document is your plan of activities. We're all operating via movie manual in our exemption, and we're required to file a plan of activities with the local FAA office. We call that a FSDO, Flight Standards District Office. They ask for 3 to 5 business days to file that plan of activities. They usually can turn it around in 1 or 2, but you're not guaranteed that. So expect at least 3 and try to give them 5. Once you have those 2 documents, which is supplied by the exempted drone company, you can then give those to the local police if they want it, local fire if they ask for it, and absolutely the film office. So those are the 2 things that you guys really need to look for. And obviously, as we've been talking all day, the research you do, looking into the drone company, making sure they have insurance and that they are a legal company, and then background check them. Ask the questions that Justin Chapman was saying and that Miran's been saying. Find out who you're going to be using. I hope that answers the question.
It does, and you guys need to think about this the same way you do all the permitting that you do. So you need to talk to the experts about how that's going to happen. And thank you.
I think it's important to just to add to that. I think it's important to clarify that the COA Certificate of Authorization and the POA Plan of Activities are documents. It is paperwork and application paperwork that the aerial company handles themselves. You as producers just need to make sure that you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's, and that you're asking for copies of all this paperwork, which is your fail-safe to making sure that it's actually being done on their side. But it's not paperwork that you need to. You shouldn't ever really have to be in touch with the Federal Bureau or the Aviation or the FSDO. That's all taken care of by the aerial unit.
One quick thing, if I can, you just reminded me of something. Just working from experience, because we do this so many times, the biggest holdup, if you're wondering, for filing that piece of paperwork is actually interfacing with production to get the right information. Yeah. In order for us to file that paperwork, we need an address, we need permission from the property owner, and we need either a scout so we know where we're flying, or an overhead, a map, so we know what to file. When we do our plan of activity, we have to show them where we're going to be, where lockups are going to be, and a lot of time productions will just say, here's where we're going to work, please start working on this documentation, but we need the info from you guys. So right off the bat, those are the things we need. If you can give us that info, we can get it filed that much quicker.
Anything you wanted to say about that, Miran, or you kind of covered it from the cinematographer's standpoint?
As a cameraman, just when you're doing your schedule, just give yourself some leeway on both sides. Weather, winds, we're with the drones, you're more susceptible to winds. So you might have this great location, perfect weather, and you're shooting it for 3 days, and you schedule for the first day, and it's not going to work because you have too much wind, so you can do other things. So just give yourself lots of room, and as soon as you know the project's on, start hammering us on locations and your requests and a wish list. Even if you don't have all of them, if you have 10 and we hit 4, great, we get all the paperwork done for you. So it's not, we're not sitting there waiting for FAA to sign off and give us permission. So.
Keith,
Yeah,
before you
that's-
segue into the
yeah,
next
of course.
topic, there's can we touch on the 500-foot restriction in PAs and lockups? Because I
Yes,
feel
we
like there
can.
was some question there. That's really the toughest part
Yeah.
for you guys, and we understand that. So understand this, that the FAA, once we turn in a plan of activity, they are welcome, and they will sometimes show up on set. And if they see something that doesn't look right to them, they will absolutely be more than happy to stop. There's a little thing we say in our world: the FAA is not happy until you're not happy. So they, when we say we got to cross our T's and dot our I's, we're trying to do that on our end to make sure that if they did show up, they're happy people. And we all try to maintain great relationships with them. So with the 500-foot lockup thing, all they did there was take the full-size regulations, which is 500 and 200 if there's an equal level of safety. I'll explain that in a second. And they put that into the drone world, the UAS world. They didn't change it. Now that will be changed. That'll come down in the future where that will be lowered. But for right now, they adopted the full-size rules. And it seems ridiculous to have a drone that's 3 or 4 feet wide and have to have a non-participant 500 feet away. Believe me, we agree. But right now, we have to abide by it. The equal level of safety thing is great, and we utilize it in big cities. So if we can prove that somebody's going to be indoors, behind a structure, behind a hill, some sort of structure in between them and the drone, you can bring it down to 200 feet, and we use it all the time, and it works great. And if we could prove someone's a participant, part of production, extras, PAs, whatever, they're good to go. So that's it, guys. 500 and 200 for right now. It will change. It's not quite there yet.